Hi there, my name is Belinda Dobson and welcome to the I Ching Cafe for the week commencing Monday the 11th of November. Last week we had a week where we were challenged to learn how to deal with conflict, but light at the end of the tunnel, we found fellowship, we found communion around a common goal. So how did last week go for you? Did you face a conflict you had to withdraw from, escape through the back door as we spoke about? I certainly did. I was in a business deal where the potential partner offered a silly deal on the table, and I knew that we had 6 conflict for this week, and I said, don't take it personally, just step back, don't engage in warfare over this issue. It's not about you, it's about what they're trying to achieve. It's okay, let it go and walk away. And that is what I did. And of course, a wonderful sense of fellowship, a very specific example of a group of wonderful women that I'm working with and experiencing a sense of fellowship in working together to a meaningful goal. So how did your week go? Right, so let's have a look at the week to come. The week commencing the 11th of November 2019. And let us see what the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to. Now, always the I Ching is saying there's a lot going on. Each of us have our different streams of life, the different pressures we're facing. What is our collective thing that we could focus on that could accelerate our week the most, that could help us move forward with energy for the week to come? And we start the week with Hexagram 36 called Darkening of the Light. We have 2 challenging hexagrams this week. Our first one leading out to our outcome one, both require us to focus, pull the effort, and get stuck into the week. Right, so darkening of the light. What does this mean? You can see from the hexagram shape that we have light or fires at the bottom and earth is at the top. What does this look like symbolically? The fire, the sun, has dipped below the level of the earth. It's hiding out in the underground. And this is what we're being asked to pay attention to this week. To take our light, to take our brightness and hide it for a little bit. In other words, think for a moment for the story of you're in a forest at night, you're camping, and you need to build a fire. And you know that there are wolves in this forest who are attracted to light. So what you don't do is build a big bonfire on the surface of the forest and attract the wolves. What you do is you dig a pit and you build your fire down into the pit. So you still have a fire, but the fire is hidden from the wolves. This is what I want you to pay attention to this week, and this is what the I Ching is asking us to pay attention to, the flow of change. We have to hide our brightness. This is all about working undercover, going underground, keeping a low profile, and certainly not a week where we go, ta-da, here we are, here's how awesome we are, even if we are so awesome, because we are awesome. Let's face facts. It's not about that. It's about going undercover and doing the work unhindered by the negative forces that are flowing around outside us. And with 4 changing lines this week, there is a lot going on. As soon as we get out the gate for Monday, boom, 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 these changing lines start kicking in, and there's a lot for us to pay attention to. So in a nutshell, the week, the focus is going undercover, working underground, being a secret agent, dipping out of view and getting on with what you need to do without putting yourself at a risk from being exposed or being out in the open where the wolves are circling. Okay, I know that sounds quite dramatic, but it might be a small amount of negativity, it might be a big issue. Go underground and get on with the job. So our first changing line is in the first position, and that talks about the need to tackle a tough challenge, something that needs to be done, something that needs courage, that needs a plan, that needs focus, and needs for us to master our words. So there's something around, as we start off the week, an activity where there is a difficulty to be overcome. We are in a position to lead in a position of difficulty, and our task is to have courage, have a plan, and to use our words, master our words to influence the group, the crowd, the community, the family, whatever it is that you are involved in. So as we start off the week, changing line in the first position, there's a tough challenge, have a plan. I would suggest as we start the week that you put in place a week plan. Have a look at the week, have a look at the things you need to do, And wherever you see that there's a difficult challenge that you need to face, have a very good plan around how you're going to execute that, overcome that challenge, and of course master your words around it. Our next changing line is in the second position, and this changing line says we're wounded, not mortally, it's quite a serious wound, we're lying on the battlefield and we're wounded. What we have to do is we have to call to the horse, and we hold on to the horse's reins, and the horse pulls us out. We have to get the horse to pull us out of the situation and take us to a place of safety. And so I know, once again, that sounds quite like, oh, this week's going to be quite hectic. Maybe it'll just create your awareness so you don't have to go through these injuries, or have a way out, a way of dealing with the situation. And what does the horse symbolize? The I Ching says the horse symbolizes our creative imagination, our creative power. Horse power, okay? And so what we have to do is call on that horse, call on that creative power to reimagine the situation we're in, create a picture of what it is we're wanting to do, and go hee-haw, and let the horse drag us in that direction. Okay, so creating a clear picture will help us get out of a situation that we're in this week. Changing line 4 is our next one, and in this changing line we are told that we have a glimpse of the cause of the challenge we face, and we go, there is the heart of darkness, as the I Ching talks about, and we go, right, now I know what it is. And it's about taking swift action, get out of the situation, and don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife. Do not look back, okay? Keep your eye focused forward and get out of it. And there's a sense here that you suddenly see what this thing is, what this difficulty, the cause of the problem, the challenge of the week. You see it, but you have to take action to get out of it, and don't turn back. Whew, it's going to be an interesting week. And our last changing line is in the 5th position, and is the story about wearing a disguise. Remember I mentioned earlier about being a secret agent? Well, there is a story for this line in ancient China where a very wise man had to pretend he had fallen down drunk with all the king's court to not be noticed that he actually was very well aware of what was going on, and he had a plan that he was executing to change the hierarchy and the politics of the time. And so what he had to do was he had to pretend he was drunk, fall over like all the others, so he wouldn't be noticed for being different to the others. And so he managed to escape and do what he needed to do. So this is about wearing the disguise. Blend in, wear the camouflage. Whatever situation you're in this week, you've got to blend in and be invisible in the crowd so that no one notices your brightness. And in so doing, you escape the danger and you are victorious. Some very interesting changing lines for us, and you might experience all of them, or perhaps just 1 or 2 become predominant in the week. Maybe you'll experience one of them early next week, because sometimes the cycle rolls over just slightly longer than 1 week. And so have a look at how these play out for you. We've got a tough task to do which needs plan, courage, and good use of words. We've got an injury, and we need to call upon our creative imagination, the horse, to pull us out and get us going. We have got a glimpse into the heart of darkness, or the nugget of the negativity that we need to get out of and not look back. And we've got to wear the disguise, put on the camouflage, blend in, and escape the challenge. Right, so where does this all lead us to? The outcome of the week is hexagram 28. You can see from the structure of the hexagram, we have a yin line at the top, a yin line at the bottom, and a whole lot of strong yang lines in the middle. The yang lines are creating pressure. Okay, great pressure is hexagram 28, and this is the story of stress. Okay, not just stress, pressure from new beginnings, from trying new things, from extending outside our comfort zones. And we have to recognize that in trying something new and beginning new phases in our life, there is pressure and stress that come with it. And our task is to put down the things that are unnecessary stress and reinforce the pillars of the house. This is shown as those male lines in the middle are the strong beams holding up the house, the support beams, and those are threatening collapse because there's too much pressure on them. So we have to alleviate pressure, take off things that are not critical, and we need to recognize where we are overdoing it, and we need to focus on keeping our head down and getting through the stress. So this week we are going to have challenges. Okay, we had conflict last week, but this week is really about recognizing that there's some negativity and challenges around us in our environment, the wolves. We have to take our brightness undercover, just hide out for a little bit underground and be like James Bond and just undercover. And then of course we have pressure, we have stress for the week, but the pressure is like how the diamond forms. The diamond grows into the pressure. From the coal to the diamond, it pushes against the pressure. And so the pressure is growing something new and wonderful in us. So just hang in there. There's a lot of growth going on in November. And if you've not yet done so, go and check out November's overview to go and stay connected with the overall picture of what we need to focus on for this month. Lots of growth, lots of opportunity, and a little bit of stress and a little bit of undercover this week to get where we need to go to. Have an awesome one, and see you on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter now for our daily stories. Thanks so much, and see you soon.